Hi guys, so today I want to show you how I dye my eyebrows, and I also want to show you my current eyebrow routine. I have switched it up a little bit lately. I've been trying to go for a little bit more of a natural brow recently, and by natural I just mean not so super arched, not so shaped, just more natural to my actual eyebrow shape. So I have been trying to grow them out recently, and I haven't touched a pair of tweezers in months, which is absolutely fantastic because I hate tweezing my brows. So I've tried virtually every eyelash and brow tint on the market, and I'll be honest, I haven't ever really been impressed with any of them. Even when I was a beauty therapist, the ones that they used in the salon, I never really thought were that good. They always fade after like 3 or 4 days, and that defeats the whole point of dyeing your brows or eyelashes in the first place. So the product I've actually been using for quite a while now is the Just for Men Mustache and Beard dye. Yes, this is a beard dye. It's for men, but this stuff is amazing and it's super dark. It lasts for weeks, and I barely ever have to do this, and it's the only one I found that actually works. Obviously this is meant for beards and you shouldn't really be putting stuff like this on your eyebrows, but as long as you're extra careful not to get it into your eyes, then you'll be absolutely fine. But if you're clumsy, I really don't recommend you try doing this because I don't want you to go blind, and you should not be getting this product in your eyes at all. So I only do my brows with this. I never touch my eyelashes with this. Don't do that. I picked this up in the color Real Black, obviously because I've got black hair. Now, I know people love to make up rules with makeup and hair colors and all crap like that. Like if you've got blonde hair, then you should have blonde eyebrows, or your brows should be 2 shades lighter than your hair. Honestly, if you want to have blonde hair and have jet black eyebrows, then that is up to you and that is your choice, and it really doesn't affect my life, so therefore I'm not bothered. Please don't feel like you have to follow these fake rules that everyone comes up with. Obviously they're there to kind of guide people a little bit, but if you want purple eyebrows and you've got brown hair, then go ahead and have purple eyebrows. That is entirely your choice. And there are no rules, it's your face and you can do what you want. So in the box you get a little tray and a little mixing brush, and then you get the color developer and then the dye, and you have to mix these two together. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tray and I'm going to squeeze out 2 really tiny pea-sized amounts of each of these things, and then I'm going to mix them together. So I'm only going to do one brow so you can see the difference between the dyed brow and the natural brow, so you can see how it looks. So that's what it looks like once it's all mixed together. I'm just gonna dip my spoolie into it, and then I'm gonna brush through my brow hairs. But I like to start at the front. You can put Vaseline around your skin so you can make sure that you don't get it onto your skin so it doesn't stain it, but I'm really not bothered about that, so just brushing through the hairs, making sure to get them in every direction. And I also like to make sure that I've gotten my regrowth of hairs, and those are all the hairs that are in this little archy bit. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they aren't there. Every time I dye my brows, I end up with loads more hairs that I didn't even know that I had to begin with. So now that the tint's in, I'm gonna let it sit for around 5 to 10 minutes. Usually it only needs about 5 minutes, but if you want it to be super dark, then you can leave it in a little bit longer. Like you saw, the mixture isn't runny, it's not running all over your face, and it's really easy. If you apply it with a spoolie, you have virtually no chance of getting it in your eye. So yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes and then I'll be back to wash it off. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes now, I think, so I'm just gonna quickly wipe it off, and I'm just gonna use some face wipes. So this is what it looks like once I've wiped off all the dye. It does stain the skin a little bit underneath the brows, but if you really don't want that, you can use some exfoliating gloves and a little bit of soap and it will just get that right off. I'm gonna go and quickly do my other brow, and then I'll be back and I'll show you guys how I fill them in at the moment. This is now that both brows are done. This one's stained a little bit more, and this brow is always darker because it has a lot more hair. But this is what they look like once they're tinted. So now that they're freshly dyed, now would be the time to pluck them if you're going to do that. I think I'm going to pluck a few here and there just on the bottom, but not much. Like I said, I'm trying to grow them out. I'm going to go and do the rest of my face because I feel really weird just having these huge eyelashes on. So I'm going to go and do my makeup, and then I'll be back and I'll show you guys what products I use to fill in my brows, how I fill them in, and all that amazing jazz. So I'll be back in a flash. I'm back, my face is finally painted, and now I can commence on with the brows. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of the products that I typically use on a day-to-day basis. And the first one of those being the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow. I use this in dark brown. I've had this Dipbrow for literally ages. So the Dipbrow is the one I will go to if I'm going out for dinner or anywhere that I'm gonna be out for a long time, because it's super long wearing and it's just my go-to. On a more day-to-day basis, if I want my brows to look a little bit more natural, not so, what's the word, not so perfect, a little bit messier, I'll use the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artiste Genius Kit. It's got a wax and a powder. I have no idea what the shade is of this because it's not on the back anywhere. I think it's medium to dark brown. I'm pretty sure that's what the color is. So yeah, I'll use this on a more day-to-day basis, and I'll quickly brush it through my brows, and it gives my brows just a little bit more of a natural look without looking too done up sort of thing. Lastly, if it's super hot outside, or if I'm on holiday or going swimming or anything like that, I will use my WunderBrow Gel. Now this stuff is incredible. You put it on and it literally does not come off. It's waterproof, it's smudge proof. You can put it on, give it a good old scrub, and it really won't come off. I have to use an oil-based cleanser to get this bad boy off. So yeah, if you want to go swimming, or if you live in a super hot country, anything like that, this bad boy is for you. It is so good. So today I think I'm gonna go with my trusty Dipbrow. It's just my go-to product. It never fails me and it's so easy to apply. First of all, I'm gonna quickly brush my brows through with the spoolie that's on my Brow Wiz, and I like to brush my brows upwards. The brush that I use to apply this is the Real Techniques 202 angled liner brush. It's really tiny, really thin. I like to use small brushes to do my brows. It allows me to be a little bit more precise. So this brush has just been perfect. And I always start from the bottom around this part. I don't start from the very front. I start from about here. And I'm gonna follow my natural brow shape. I'm not trying to arch them out. I'm not trying to shape them. I'm just literally gonna follow the shape that I have currently. Then I'll go back and I'll fill in the rest of my brow with whatever is left on my brush. And I just follow the natural shape. So now I've virtually got no product left on my brush, and I'm gonna kind of connect this front bit up to the rest of my brow and shape it a little bit more. I don't put any product on this bottom part whatsoever. It's literally just this top little bit. Once I've done that, I like to look straight on into a mirror, and I'll keep looking at each brow and I'll try and even them out as much as possible. But eyebrows aren't supposed to match completely. This brow is way more arched on me than this one, and this one is a lot lower down, so it can make my eye look a little bit smaller. So you just have to try and get them as even as you can, but don't stress about it. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna give them a quick brush through again. Then I'm going to set them with a little bit of clear gel, and the one I use is from Collection Cosmetics, and it's the Colour Lash All Day Wear Colour Mascara. And the one I use is in clear. Obviously it's not so clear looking right now because it's got brow product in it, but it doesn't matter. So I like to brush my brow hairs upwards. I feel like that's what looks the most natural. And I especially like to push this front part upwards. So this is what my brows look like once they're finished. Typically they wouldn't be this dark. They're just so dark because obviously I dyed them, and I've still got a little bit of the dye stuck to my skin. So generally they wouldn't be this dark. I do like to have a little bit more skin showing through them and a little bit more hair. But once I've washed my face, and the next time I do my brows, they'll look a lot more natural. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. I am still in the transition phase of growing my brows out, so I am really excited for when they're fully grown, so I don't have to fill them in as much and they'll look a lot more natural. My brows are quite heavy, and I know that's not for everyone. I did used to have the thinnest stick brows ever, which looking back was just not a good look. Let me know in the comments though, what do you think? Do you prefer me with thinner brows or do you prefer me with these thicker brows? Let me know in the comments. Also, I forgot to add that the Just for Men is around £7 or £8 I think, and you can get it from Boots or Superdrug or any of the places like that. You can pretty much get it anywhere. And yeah, I think that is everything. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you all next time. Bye.